What's the best gear in Dredge? In today's video, I'm going to attempt to answer that question. Before I do, a few caveats. First, the game's last two zones, Twisted Strand and Devil's Spine, require specialized gear. Second, when it comes to gear efficiency, it's often about space. Multiple rods can do the same thing, but one might be smaller, less disruptive shape, or be able to catch more types of fish. Third, the game is linear, so if you follow along and just equip stuff as you progress, you'll be fine. Don't worry too much, you do not have to min-max, this is not a super difficult game, but min-maxing is fun. Fourth, and finally, the Iron Rig DLC follows slightly different rules. A lot of the stuff that I'm talking about in this video doesn't quite apply, as you need specialized equipment for that. Because you need specialized equipment, you don't get as much of a choice, so I've largely excluded it from this video. So with those stipulations out of the way, what is the best gear in Dredge? Well, when it comes to fishing, instead of a single best item, I'm going to recommend a best setup: the versatile rod and the fathomless winch. This way you can catch coastal, shallow, mangrove, volcanic, abyssal, oceanic, and hadal fish. Pretty much everything in the game. Now, this does not get you the best possible fishing speed in all of these situations. For example, the fishing platform is going to be much better at harvesting coastal or shallow fish than the versatile rod. That is to say, it has higher fishing speed. But you cannot harvest mangrove or volcanic fish if you're using the harvesting platform. Similarly, if you are specifically looking for aberrants, the Viscera crane is better than the fathomless winch. But if you just generally want to catch fish and have a high speed, then the fathomless winch is not only better, but as a 2x2, it fits much better into your hold. Oh, and it can catch oceanic fish, which the Viscera crane cannot. And this is what I meant by it depends. Now, when it comes to trawl nets, things are much more straightforward. If you have a Pale Reach DLC, the Radiant Trawl Net is the best thing you can use. It has a wide variety of biomes in which it works, great capacity, and very high catch efficiency. Also, it's a 2x2, making it smaller than the alternatives, with the only real downside being that you cannot use it in the mangrove or volcanic areas. Alternatively, if you want passive materials, you're going to need the Iron Rig DLC, where you can trawl up all sorts of junk. But in general, I do think the Radiant Trawl Net is the best option if you have the Pale Reach, and if you don't, just use the best research you have available. They're pretty darn linear. Next up, we have crab pots. Linear ending, reinforced, is the best, but how you get there depends. And so the efficient crab pot into the complex crab pot into the reinforced crab pot is a good progression, as this way you'll get slightly more creatures per day. As a note, the Gale Cliffs Shrine gives you Mouth of the Deep, which is especially nice, as not only is it a pretty darn efficient crab pot, but it has aberration capture chance. Just watch out, it absolutely does bite. Now, when it comes to a light, I recommend Flame of the Sky from the Ancient Lighthouse. This is in the volcanic region, the Devil's Spine, and you have to collect 4 tablets, 3 from nearby islands, 1 from the same guy that buys all of your trinkets over on Little Marrow. That way you're able to open the door. In the early game, the Tungsten Floodlight is a good alternative, and the Incandescent Array has slightly greater range, but it takes up a lot more space, so I would say which one you use is kind of personal choice, but the Flame of the Sky is the best of both worlds, as it has the form factor of the Tungsten Floodlight, with the light and almost the range of the Incandescent Array. Then there are engines. If you follow the bigger is better rule, engine stack wins. It is technically the highest speed per slot. However, if you saw my tips and tricks video, you would know that bigger is not always better. In fact, bigger is usually worse when it comes to engines, because if you have one big powerful engine and you take damage, it's possible for that big powerful engine to be disabled. So instead, I recommend stacking jet drives. These can be researched fairly early on if you funnel all of your research into that top path, and they take up 1 space each in your hull. You should only swap to the big boy when you have extra room to spare, and even then, you can just stick to jet drives for the entire game. Now, last but not least, I want to give a special mention to the Encrusted Talisman. This gives you a huge amount of fishing speed, which makes all of your fishing way more efficient, pun intended there, and it gives you base aberrant chance. So it is very good, and you get it as you're completing the main story in the Devil's Spine. If you want even more talismans that you can put in your ship's hull to increase things like turn radius, reverse speed, fishing speed, and dredging speed, just check out the Iron Rig DLC. That said, none of these things are necessary, and in fact you'll have a perfectly excellent time if you just stick to the base game. And so, those are some of my thoughts on all the best equipment. If you're just starting out and you're looking for some tips and tricks, check out my video that's up in the card and down below. On the other hand, if you want to know more about Dredge as a game, what it's about, I should have a video on that coming out in the near future. And the best way to see it is by hopping into my Discord, link down in the description, joining the community, and giving yourself the notification role. That way you see all the videos I make, rather than just the ones the YouTube algorithm decides to show you. Oh, and by the way, if you're looking for some things to spend research scraps on, unlock as soon as possible, yes, my tips and tricks video does go over that as well. With that, I'm going to get going, so thank you very much for watching to the end. I'm glad you enjoyed. Good luck in your fishing, and I'll see you in the next one.